Inside Boxing's Throwdown. I'm Aurelio Martinez, and I felt I'd take advantage of this week. It's been a slow week. My partner and co-host Stephen Johnson's out enjoying the weekend before the snow hits here in Denver, Colorado. So I didn't want to leave the viewers hanging, so I'm not going to let the viewers hanging. So I'm going to take advantage of this time frame to talk a little bit about Inside Boxing and what we got coming for you. InsideBoxing.com has a counterpart, a promotional arm to us, which is Inside Boxing Promotions. And we're very active in promoting on a local level. But we're going to kind of expand a little bit on that. And what we got in store is a bigger show coming for the boxing public that will be next Cinco de Mayo weekend. Okay, so that would be May 5th weekend of 2018. We're starting this show now because it's actually going to be a nice, entertaining show. We watch every day on the big screen, on the Showtimes and the HBOs and ESPNs, and you always see your big names. And it's easy to see the Charlo brothers, the Spence, and we know they're good. We know the Thermos and the Danny Garcias and all that. They're the big names out there. But what about the up and coming boxers that really have the promise and have the skills and to make something out of their boxing career, to become household names? Well, a couple of years ago, Inside Boxing put a list together. We kind of scanned the entire USA, and we came up with a dozen fighters, relatively new fighters, that we felt possessed talent, skills, and we really felt that they have the chance to become household names, top contenders, if not world champions. We compiled this list. You can read the story on InsideBoxing.com if you go to the bottom and hit the search bar and kind of search for Destructive Dozen. You'll see the couple of stories. The initial list was put together back in July of 2016, and the criteria was pretty simple. To be on this list, you could have only been a pro 3 years prior. Okay, so we couldn't put some of your bigger names and stuff coming into this list. We had to kind of stay with the up and coming. But that was the whole purpose of this, because we want to give these kids exposure. We want you, the general public, to know about these up and coming fighters that are out there trying to make a name for themselves. And honest to goodness, we at Inside Boxing feel that they have all the talent to do so. Anyhow, let me run through this list real quick, and then I'll tell you a little bit more of our show that we are putting together. The Destructive Dozen, and this is not in any specific order. It's not a rating or anything. This is just the list of the 12 up and coming boxers. We got Steven Nelson out of Omaha, Nebraska. We got Misael Lopez from Denver, Colorado. We got Joey Alday Jr. from Odessa, Texas. We got Mike Reed from Waldorf, Maryland. We got Richard Hicks from Quincy, Florida. We got Genaro Gomez from San Diego, California. We got Tyler McCrary from Toledo, Ohio. Also from Toledo, Ohio, we got Sonny Fredrickson. Henry Allen II from Wilson, Louisiana. Ignacio Chariz from Salt Lake City, Utah. Marquise Moore from Colorado Springs had his entire amateur career under the Army boxing, WCAP. And last but not least, we got Michael Dutchover from Midland, Texas, who trains in California. Anyhow, if you look at this list and you kind of do a little research and kind of look at some of their fights on YouTube or just some of the write-ups they have, or kind of look at it. And for those that know any of these fighters on the list, you know exactly what I'm talking about. These guys have the goods. They just don't have the exposure because they're just starting. But we want to give them that exposure we want to do that. So next year we've got this show that's going to feature some of the boxers on this Destructive Dozen. Okay. Now obviously we can't bring them all because some of them are signed with with promoters. They're bigger promoters, so like Top Rank and Golden Boy. So realistically, it's unlikely that they're going to allow their fighter to fight on any other boxing promoter's show. But anyhow, what I will tell you, we already have 4 committed to this show. So our goal is to have half. If we get more, that's even better. But our goal is to have half, and we will get the 6 of the Destructive Dozen to be on our Cinco de Mayo show in Denver. And then once we get that put together with a decent main event, there's a good chance that we can put this show on one of the national broadcast networks, such as Showbox or HBO After Dark or ESPN. Okay, as difficult as it may be, with a card this strong, there's a good chance that it can happen. Okay, we all know that your Golden Boys, Top Rank, and Premier Boxing all have kind of a lock on the broadcast. But worst case scenario, this fight will be televised via streaming. Okay, it could be over the Roku network, some of the Hulu, the Amazon. But anyhow, it will be available, and anyone that has one of the newer TVs will be able to watch this in 4K. So you won't be able to miss out, and actually it's going to be a good thing. Anyhow, we look forward to that. We look forward to that show. You don't want to miss it because it's hard for you to believe me and say, hey, well, this guy's talking, he picked 12, or what about this guy, what about that guy? Watch these kids in action. Just to give you an idea, some of the talent. You take Misael Lopez, okay? Misael Lopez is stated to fight November 18th, next month, at a larger show here in Denver at the Denver Coliseum. And that show, he will more than likely be fighting for a World Youth title, the IBF World Youth title. He also has an option available to fight for the WBC Youth Continental title. Okay, so one of them will probably happen, and we just got to take our hats off to this young kid because he has everything going for him. With just 7 fights under his belt, he's not taking the slow train or the slow boat. He's actually going to show everybody his skills. Joey Alday from Odessa, California, outstanding fighter. And I can say that for every one of these fighters on this list, outstanding talent. Now this is what we should be seeing on TV instead of watching protected fighters fight subpar opponents. Okay, so this is something that you're going to watch. Support this show. We'll be announcing it from here out all throughout the holidays. So you want to kind of keep your eye open for this. Okay, so I'm going to take a break and we're going to come back. I'm going to come back and we're going to talk just a little bit about this fiasco with George Foreman. Come on, man. Come on, George. But anyway, listen, stay tuned, and I'll be back in a minute. Until I get back, keep them hands up.